The following podcast contains a really big announcement. There is also a conversation about rotary clothes dryers. Not quite on the same level, I'm afraid. We apologise for any offence caused.
Hello and welcome to That Was the Week That Was it? The only podcast that genuinely gives a frig about what their guests were up to last week. My name is Alex Sievewright, and joining me again is someone who is completely addicted to poppadoms. It's my co-host, Kate O'Connor. How are you, Kate?
Hello, I'm really well. How are you?
I'm good. That's true, isn't it? You are addicted to poppadoms.
Well, addicted is strong. I enjoy them muchly.
All right.
I have cravings for them.
That's fair enough. I mean, we all like. I had cravings. I told you this actually in a message. I have cravings for cracker bread, plain cracker bread, just ordinary cracker bread.
Yeah, but I'm pregnant. What's your excuse?
So your week was good. So excellent. And joining us this time is a double BAFTA award-winning man and producer. And the producer of Cracker Bread and such audio delights as BBC Radio 4's The SKEWER and the hilarious podcast Cold Case Crime Cuts. It's only bloody Jon Holmes.
Yes, you see, yes, stop that, that's sarcastic. But the fact that you said Cracker Bread and I shouted Cracker Bread is a niche reference for anybody who remembers the maybe late 70s, early 1980s TV children's programme at 5 to 5. It's Cracker Bread, as we all used to shout.
Oh, of course. Yes, I remember that.
Which window was your preference?
No, that's Play School.
Oh, right. Well, I'm a lot younger than you, John. I'm a lot younger.
Me. Yeah, you're not even old enough to be pregnant, let alone, so that's a bit outrageous, frankly. I'm not even going to ask about the circumstances in which that happened, Kate.
How are you, John? Are you all right?
Oh, I'm fine. Are we doing small talk?
A little
fine.
bit.
Yeah, no, I'm all right. How are we all? I mean, it's like there's a pandemic, except it's like at time of recording, we're creeping out of it, but yet the shadow and the spectre of it all coming back hovers over us due to the people who refuse the vaccine. So,
Yeah, I don't feel good about it, if I'm honest with you. I don't feel good about coming out of this.
Oh, I think, I saw it's fine. They'll delay it for a bit, time of recording, but it's sort of fine. I think, the hospitals are underwhelmed, which is the sort of point, isn't it? Don't you think?
Yeah.
I think that's
Also, I think that Boris Johnson and Matt Hancock would be really delighted if they got the superhero names Shadow and Spectre out of this.
Well, without a doubt. Yes.
Yeah.
And by the way, can we just check, Kate, is Boris Johnson the father of your unborn child? Because that needs to be...
I checked Wikipedia and it's unclear.
Fine. Then we'll go with that. Congratulations.
Now, John, we've known each other for quite a few years now. I mean, we first met in 2005.
You say, I mean, I don't know whether you remember the circumstances of it well enough, because if you remember, I'll give you the precise date.
Please do.
Alex, it was November the 30th. 2005.
Remember November the 30th.
Anybody goes on Wikipedia will realise that was the date of the first ever face transplant in the world. And you and I were, of course, we hadn't met before that time, but you and I both agreed to, like in the film Face Off, directed by John Woo, decided, didn't we, to have our faces transplanted. So the question is for people, are we talking now through our own original faces, or are you me, or are I you? In fact, since 2005, and
it's been tricky, hasn't it? I mean, our wives were quite happy with it for some reason. I don't know why. Well,
yours
why
was.
Happened.
I don't know.
Yeah, true.
I don't know that when you turned up, mine was. But it was only a face transplant, so it's fair to say, Alex, that we are and remained recognisable by our other attributes.
Yes. Very much so. Very much so. So, right, Kate?
Kate looks...
Surely you know.
She doesn't know which one of us is the father now. She's confused.
I'm just trying to think, if in a lineup, would I be able to pick someone out without their face?
It'd be more of a line out, I think, in our case. So. Kate, not a line up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or line down, actually, maybe would be the accurate way of putting it. I don't know. I'm just saying that Alex and I don't really know each other. The only way we're acquainted is because we volunteered for November the 30th. Look it up on Wikipedia. The world's first ever face transplant. And like Travolta and Cage in the film, we swapped identities. And to this day, nobody knows which we are.
Yeah, and there wasn't a big bomb plot or anything like that. I mean, it was just did it for fun, didn't we, really?
There were flying doves, though, in slow motion, Alex. Yeah, and I think that was a symbol of our love.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't it?
They're actually just no regular pigeons, but...
Yes, but if you take a regular pigeon and you get a can of eggshell paint from Halfords, it's surprising what you can achieve.
It really is.
Other Halfords are available. Yeah. Yeah.
Other doves aren't now because they died of paint poisoning.
Is that why so many pigeons have club feet? It's from all the paint poisoning.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's why they're in slow motion as well. They just couldn't flap.
There's no such thing as a dove. It's just a pigeon that's been spray painted. I thought everyone knew that.
I'm learning so much already.
Every day's a school day. That's the thing. So, John, the reason you're here, apart from this very, very good banter, is that how was your week last week, John?
Well, it was the same as every week is for me. I mean, as you know, I live and breathe the glamour of show business. Kate and Alex, and so every day is filled. No, it's not like your day, listener. It's not like your boring day where you just do mundane things. Mine is filled with excitement. So on Monday, if you want to start there, do you? I suppose.
Yeah, I do. Yes, I do.
It's the traditional starting point. Yeah.
Monday,
so what happened was, and this is what A-listers like me get to deal with. Is that in the garden, because of the success I have a rotary clothesline.
Wow.
Oh, Mr. La-di-da.
Oh, I know. And I don't mean to, I know that's a bit show off, but
it is.
I'm gonna be honest about it. I don't think I need to disguise the fact that I have a rotary clothesline that was about 40 quid from Argos, if I'm honest. And for those people listening who think is a little bit outlandish, I did save up for it. Right. But my point was I spent a minimal amount on this clothesline. So over the, I'm going to call it the pandemic. What's happened is the lines on the line part of the rotary have sagged.
Oh.
So the moment you hang, say, a wet towel or latterly a wet sock on it, it would droop.
Right.
Droop it would.
Yeah.
Like to the floor. So I took the clothesline out of the ground. I unthreaded the line part of the rotary, which is a sort of, what is it? A sort of plastic twine.
Yeah.
And I rethreaded the whole rotary clothesline
Wow.
to tighten it all up. It's something I'm meaning to do for about 6 months. And that took me about 2 hours. So those of you who think I live a mundane life, no, that's the glamour level I operate at. And you can only dream of that.
The rotary line, how long is that when it's pulled out?
Well, honestly, I know things. People say, don't they? When you stretch something out, it would stretch to the moon and back.
Yeah.
Right? Now, the moon and back is a pub about 5 miles away from here.
Okay.
So, as an experiment, right, I laid the line of the rotary along that way, and it reached about half the way to the moon and back.
Okay. So just to the moon then.
Well, no, not even to the moon, because the moon is a pub a mile on from the moon and back.
Yeah, so it would have been a quarter of the way to the moon and back and back. Back.
Yes, but not that far to the moon itself.
No.
If you see what I mean.
Yes.
So as a theory of measurement, it's absolutely hopeless.
Yeah. So did you just thought, while I'm here, I might as well just measure this twine in case I get asked about it?
Well, obviously you're going to get asked about it.
He's a celebrity. Obviously, that's
first question. Yeah.
I mean, it's the only. The only other way of measuring it, which again I did, because I live quite near the coast. I live in Kent, as you know.
Oh, showing off all the time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Rotary line.
I live in Kent, and I've got room for a rotary clothesline.
Oh my God.
You've got a room for it. Most people have it outside.
No, I've got a separate room for it. Don't put it outside. I put it in a room, and if I want clothes to dry faster, I just sit down and blow on them.
Wow.
So I have a rotary clothesline room.
I put it to you, Jon Holmes. You know, in old school Chinese restaurants, they have round tables, and on those round tables, they have a little sort of mini round table on a whirlygig.
It's a lazy Susan.
A lazy Susan.
Lazy Susan,
Why
yeah.
is
But
it?
in Chinese, what is that?
Well,
Well, Susan isn't a Chinese name, is it? So I don't know that we can call it a lazy Susan.
oh well, like, you know, I imagine it's been anglicized for, you know, for our, you know, our Western name tastes. But I do wonder why then your rotary clothesline isn't called a Windy Wendy.
Well, I mean, Windy Wendy, apart from being someone I went out with at school, you see, you've gone down the route of alliteration, whereas the Chinese and their lazy Susan have not.
But you have already addressed that point, because it wasn't Susan in the original Cantonese.
Yes. So what would it be? Is my question to you.
Well, I don't know the Chinese word for lazy, so I can't alliterate a word that I don't know.
Somebody Google it.
I have actually just Googled what the Chinese call a lazy Susan.
Go on.
They are known as Kanxiao Xiaopian, which is dinner table turntable.
Oh, I like that.
Sorry, Alex, could you do it in the accent? Because I didn't really understand that.
No.
I can't, John. No, accents aren't my forte.
Oh,
remember?
is that how?
Remember?
Right, is that why? Well, you see, Kate, you're onto something here. So what if we combined the two, the Western influence and the Asian influence, right? And maybe if you went out to a Chinese restaurant with what was it called, Alex? It
was called a Kanxiao Xiaopan.
Yes. Yeah. So if you went out and to a restaurant with a Kanxiao Xiaopan, right?
Yeah.
But imagine you take your wet washing with you, okay? And what you could do is rig up a rudimentary clothes dryer on the center of the lazy Susan in the Chinese restaurant, and perhaps enjoy the buffet, but also dry your clothes at the same time. And where would we be, let's face it, without the pantomime?
Yeah.
So it's not me that's racist, the pantomime of the Chinese laundry as featured in Aladdin with Widow Twanky. So you see, all I'm doing is suggesting it as a cultural reference to the medium and the form of the pantomime.
I mean, I no wonder it took you 2 hours to put it back. I mean, you know,
took a long time. Honestly, those things are a bugger to rethread. But now it's as tight as a chuff.
The little seabird.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very tight, famously tight seabird that there is.
They are tight. They're very tight.
They won't spend money on anything.
I have tightened the clothesline to fit that of the guts of a chuff, the seabird.
Right. Yeah.
You must be so proud.
It was loose as a puffin.
Yes. The loosest of all the birds, Kate. Well, as I think we can all agree.
I think we can. Yeah.
Yes. And now I've got it right tightened. But I had to knot it off. There was so much excess twine that I had to knot it off quite a significant number of times.
Like an ostrich.
But honestly, it now yes, like an ostrich. And now hanging out the washing is almost a pleasure and not a chore.
Wow.
I can't believe that. I have never enjoyed putting the washing out. Never. It's such a
I don't
pain in the
mind. I
arse.
don't mind ironing. I don't mind putting the washing out, right? I do the household chores I object to on a personal level are dust. It's just dusting.
Yeah.
I hate dust, and I hate dusting as much as I hate dust. So it clashes. Moving things to dust. Do you know what I mean? It's like a really annoying. And I live in quite a dusty house.
I mean,
so
it's all right once you move, like, you know, both your BAFTAs, and you the dust is there. You can see where the space was.
It's not just the BAFTAs; it's the 12 Radio Academy Awards.
Sorry, yeah,
the
12
2
Radio
British
Academy
Comedy
Awards.
Awards.
Yeah,
the several Audio Production Awards, Best Producer Awards. It's loads, Alex. It takes ages to move all
that bronze area. But yeah, it's
yeah, I know, gold just last week. But yeah, well,
Yeah, I was thinking about the bronze one you won at Radio Kent, but
that's right.
I forgot about that one. So yeah. But once you've dusted underneath where that award was, you're not going to get it in the exact same spot again because you haven't got that marker.
No, but it's all right if you've got as many as I have. I mean, to be honest, it doesn't matter. Sometimes I just take them outside and I hang the awards from the rotary clothesline so the neighbours can see. And I think that's maybe why it's sagged, because the awards are very heavy, they're very cumbersome. Yeah. I mean, they're literally made of gold, the BAFTAs, so you can see why it would be an issue.
John, you've got children, don't you?
Yes, in a manner of speaking, I do have, yes. Do you need some advice for the one that's on the way?
Well, my plan is to get one of those. I mean, I understand that your kids are a bit older than my unborn child.
You don't know that yet. They come out at any age. It's like a lottery.
I'm guessing here. You sure? Yeah. My plan is to get him one of those like onesies that has like little like fabric fingers on the bottom, like a kind of like a mop. And as he moves around the house, he dusts as he goes. So can you not just like attach some like dust attracting clothing to your children and just let them be free and clean the house as they go?
That's a good idea. The only issue with that is that the children are the things that dirty the house up. So, but I suppose you could, if they go around, like, as you'll find out, well, at any age actually, what they do is leave a trail of mess, and when they're little, that can either be dribble or shit. But as they get older, it's just bigger piles of dribble and shit. So, but as long as they're, you're right, behind them, they've got the little fingers of the whatever you were talking about.
Yeah, the little sort of mop fingers.
Yeah, I think that's not a bad idea.
I kind of want kids now.
Actually, you can rent mine if you want.
Yeah, all right.
I don't even rent them. You can just have them. Really annoying,
but super cute.
Yeah. Well, you can. Do you want them for some practice, Kate? Because it's really. I mean, I don't mean to put you off, but it's really bloody hard bringing up kids. So if you want to sort of have a dress rehearsal with an annoying 11-year-old who acts about that she's about 15 and slams doors and gets all cross, or the other one who's absolutely fine at the moment, but you can see in her eyes that there's potential for devilment, then I am more than willing to lend them to you for the rest of their lives.
And did you notice that John doesn't know their names either? The other one.
We just called them child 1 and 2. It's easy.
And you get them mixed up all the time. It's fine.
I do.
So that was Monday, hanging things, awards and all that. Tuesday, what was that like?
Oh, well, now Tuesday, you see, we move into another realm of the family, which is dogs. So we got dog. We got a dog. Well, here's the lineup. We got a dog. We got a cat. We got 2 guinea pigs and 2 mice.
Oh, cute.
Well,
I had mice growing up.
Did you? What, just in the skirting boards or as pets?
No pets.
You see, I wasn't specific, was I? I didn't say what they're pets. To be fair, they are pets. Yeah, they are.
I like that you're still trying to keep me on my toes, though. That's good.
Always testing.
Keep me guessing. Yeah.
Always keeping you guessing. How did you get on with mice? Did you get on with mice? Did you like the mice? Did you want mice?
I loved the mice. I thought they were great and they were very cute. And you pick them up by their tails.
No.
And they were just squeaky and nice.
The tails come off, don't they? And they can grow back. No, I'm thinking of something else.
And they're just so small.
I had 2 rats growing up as well. Willow and Gadget.
Again, pets or things that were in your house that your parents said were pets to not freak you out?
These were pets. These were definitely pets. Definitely, probably. But they were lovely. They were so cute. They were like, tiny dogs. They really were.
Could they fetch a stick? A very small stick?
No, they just sort of enjoy rubs and, be very friendly. And
well, not tiny dogs then.
No, not at all. So what was the problem with the dog, John?
Oh, no. So the dog is a Cocker Spaniel, right? So I took the dog through for a walk through some fields. Now, ordinarily, last time I took the dog a walk through those particular fields, it was an easy walk. It was absolutely fine. but what's happened in the last 3 or 4 weeks is that the weather changes. So the mad rain we got, followed by sunshine, followed by rain, followed by sunshine, has made nature explode in the fields, right? So the dog immediately disappears into the nature, and the dog is now old. The dog is like 12, nearly 13, and he's deaf.
Oh, bless.
So, and can't really track you anymore. So the dog gets lost in the grass. Then I try to find the dog. I get lost in the grass. It's quite high grass.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Before you say anything. Before you say
a word. Didn't say a word.
So I and the dog got separated, and then the problem was then the dog decides, if not being supervised, the dog, like many, has a penchant for laser sighting in on fox shit.
Oh,
so
no.
the dog will roll in the fox shit. But because of the time of year, the grass seed floats in the air and it causes clouds in the air. If you walk through grass seed, it just like forms like fog in the air. It's amazing. It's an amazing part of nature. But not when a dog is covered in fox shit, because what it does is it sticks to the dog and covers the dog in the seed. So you are then faced with a fox shit smelling dog covered in grass seed. And spaniels, I don't know whether you know this, but spaniels are particularly susceptible to having grass seed stuck in their big flappy spaniel's ears. Not a euphemism.
No.
Actually is.
No.
Right? And then and so that's a trip to the vet. So it gets very expensive and complicated, and spaniels are stupid. So that was Tuesday. I mean, it was just a sort of, have you ever seen Children of the Corn?
I have.
The film.
Yeah. Well, no, but I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's in Children of the Corn, there are children that live in the corn. The clue is in the name, right? And they're evil children. And one of them's, the lead one's called Malachi, and he's got a scythe, and there's seeds, and there's corn, and there's dead grown-ups, right? That's what the premise is. And it was like that on Tuesday, but with a dog, is what I'm saying.
Is that the Linda Hamilton version we're talking about?
No, I'm talking about the original, maybe not early 1980s. Film that I watched on VHS back in the day, that I liked, as I recall. I'd read the book. It's a Stephen King book, isn't it? So I'd read the book. It's a great book if one wishes to read.
Is it one of his shorter ones?
Yes, it is.
Oh, good, because most of them could kill a man. They really could.
Yes. Well, the problem with Stephen King is they kill a man if they dropped on them, but they could also kill a man by reading it, or woman. Actually, so let's not be sexist, Alex.
No, we're much more resilient. In fairness, you're right. It would only kill a man.
It wouldn't kill a woman. No.
I would never kill a woman with a Stephen King novel.
Okay, just checking. So but no, Children of the Corn's pretty accessible, isn't it? It's you go straight in with that, and it's weird from the start. Whereas a lot of Stephen King books are brilliantly written, but then go really weird at the end. So
he doesn't believe in plotting. That's why they're so long. He doesn't have a plan when he starts. He's just a mad guy who starts writing and then goes wild, and we just get left with the pretty impressive but worrying results.
I'd sort of agree. There are certain books where you go, why have you done that? Because it was great for 2/3, and then the last third of this book was awful. But the first 2/3, I think Stephen King is one of the great underrated American writers. I really do. I think he's fantastic. I will, if he writes a new book, I will devour it. I won't eat it. I'll read it. That was it.
Well, maybe you should, because that's how he'd want you to enjoy his work.
Well, it's only a matter of time before that happens. It's been a Stephen King book where there's a book. Which book is it where somebody forces a book down someone's throat with the end of a spoon? That's not Stephen King, is it? That's oh no, I'm thinking Very Hungry Caterpillar. I've mixed up my genres. So I do apologize.
Yeah. That was not Stephen King. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm thinking of The Very Human Centipede. That's it.
Oh,
the very human,
yes, that's the one.
Whereby that centipede in one day ate his way through. The first day it was a strawberry, I think.
Yep.
The second day the human centipede ate his way through a lettuce leaf. The third day was a pickle.
Yeah.
And the fourth day was a human anus.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Do you remember that book? What a great book for children.
Yeah. No, they don't eat the anus.
The middle person does.
Oh.
You've not read the book, Kate. He does eat an anus. And then he gets a tummy ache.
Do you know Rule 34?
No, do I need to have seen rules 1 to 33?
No, there's this like internet culture thing where there's a rule, it's rule 34, where if it exists, there is porn of it on the internet.
Ah.
And I discovered today, not through browsing, but because I was listening to a podcast, that there is, in fact, porn of the very hungry caterpillar called the very horny caterpillar.
Amazing.
But if Rule 34 is true, then that means there is also porn of the human centipede somewhere out there on the internet.
Undoubtedly.
But if it's a rule where it exists of anything that exists, I exist.
Be careful what you Google, is what I'm saying.
Don't Google Jon Holmes porn.
Because I know several young to middle-aged men who are handy with Photoshop and could have done terrible things with your image.
Well, there's already a Jon Holmes on the internet, to be fair, in that genre. So I think that sort of counts for me. You two, I couldn't speak for. I don't know, but
I don't exist, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's a lot to live up to, John. Being the other Jon Holmes, it's a lot to live up to.
Well, yes, I know, but he's dead of the AIDS, isn't he? And I'm alive, and you know, I had a T-shirt, you know, because obviously you've made an allusion to my height not so long ago, Alex.
You made that allusion.
Well,
you did. In fact, you made us visualize you next to grass and then have a little chuckle.
Like a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids scenario.
when I was at university, somebody bought me a T-shirt that said on it, "I may look short, but there's 12 inches of me you can't see."
Ah, classic.
It was all those LPs you'd bought, isn't it?
Yes. Those limp players. Yes.
Well, was the dog okay?
Oh, well, the dog, thanks for dragging it back to the subject. That evening, the dog...
It's good hosting.
It is good hosting. I got back home with the dog and then immediately had to bath the dog because of the fox shit and the grass stuff sticking to... So that annoyed me anyway. And it's really hard to bath. Have you ever tried to bath a dog? It's really quite annoying.
Yeah. Many times, and several different dogs. The one we got at the moment, Pippa, is...
Pippa the dog, yeah.
Fine to bath. She's absolutely fine. She just sits there and takes it. But I've had dogs where you just it's like a wrestling match and you get wetter than the dog does. Yeah, it's
awful.
Terrible.
So I tried to bath the dog and it's never easy. And then you have to carry the dog outside wrapped in a towel.
Yes.
Because you don't want them to shake themselves in the house. So you get them outside, then they shake themselves before you've had time to shut the door and it's all over the... Anyway, so then the rest of the evening that she spent sort of rolling about on the floor in fictional fox. I don't know what she was trying to do. And she was just rolling on the floor as though there was fox shit on the carpet, which there wasn't. So I did check. And then she was scratching her ear and I was worried there was a seed in her ear and that's a trip to the vets and that gets very expensive. But I've checked. She seems to be fine now. I don't know.
Closest I've got to that experience is a bird shat on right on her forehead.
Well, as they say, don't go out with her again.
I didn't.
No.
Hey.
Never mind.
Now it's time for the feature that has got the whole nation saying, I've not heard of it. What channel was it on? Oh, it's a podcast. Never mind. This feature's theme music was created after the podcast was recorded. So here we go. Every now and then I get a little bit lonely and you never come around.
Okay, one last time. These are small, but the ones out there are far away. Small, far away.
Wow.
Majestic, wasn't it? Can you believe
Well,
that?
I mean, in majestic is one word. If indeed you are using it in the context of the wine shop majestic, and it sounded just like a very drunk person had created
I
it.
forgot that I'm dealing with an audio connoisseur.
I mean, it's a strong term.
What was wrong? What was wrong with it?
It's hard to put it into words, isn't it?
We'll try.
It's like my dog rolled in it. Let's put it that way.
Oh man.
Wow.
Is that too harsh?
Well, I don't know. I did hear the yepping of a seedy Springer Spaniel.
Yeah.
I heard that
That
as
was
well,
in
and
there.
I almost heard the smell of fox
Oh
droppings.
no.
So that's interesting, and also weird that
Yeah.
as the,
Discordant.
yeah, discordant is right. A discordant musical stench with the yapping
Sure.
of a dog, but also as it's the week of that eclipse that everyone's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see it?
I couldn't see it because it was too cloudy. So but what that music conjured up for me was a sort of cloudy. It was almost an eclipsed version of a calypso version of Total Eclipse of the Heart, wasn't it? That's what I.
Wow.
A lot of clips going on in that one.
Yeah. A calypso
I get you.
Total Eclipse of the Heart with the stench of fox mess with the yapping of a dog in it. I mean, what strange.
Was there anything you didn't like?
I didn't like the timpani.
Oh, God.
No. It was a bit much.
Yeah,
I mean, you had enough going on.
Yeah, I don't think you also needed the sound of the crying child as well. I think you should have
Well,
left
I
that
didn't
out.
need it, but you know,
Yeah.
something to do in it.
Well,
Right.
yeah, well, it was something to do, but also I also didn't like. I mean, there's several things I didn't like. Right, one was the sound of someone urinating. I didn't think that was necessary. Right.
Well, you got to add it somewhere.
I
haven't you?
thought that was just somebody pouring tea.
No,
I think it was both.
Oh.
No.
Kate. The urinating was first, and then
Oh.
the pouring tea, wasn't it? After that, I think.
Ah.
that's
I
true.
think that's what it
true.
was.
You can
And then
tell
there
by
was,
the
there was
surfaces.
very
the sound.
specifically, wasn't there? Really specific sound, really, really specific of a I think a 1941 Spitfire,
Yeah,
but with only
That's
one
right.
engine working. I think
that's correct.
was in
yes,
there, wasn't
that's
it?
correct.
that's right.
Absolutely correct. I went out there and I got that recording. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
no, thank you. I'm glad. I mean, it's not. You know, I don't come round to your work and tell you that. And so
No.
right, do I?
But also someone beating some eggs as well in there. That was odd, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know why that was a strange.
I don't know.
Yeah, and why were they protesting so much? Ow! Ow, get off!
Yeah, what was that about?
Stop!
Yeah.
Don't beat me.
And also that
Well,
weird
thank you.
sound of
Oh,
someone
go on.
hitting a microphone with a pen was really weird as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And also I don't know how he got it in time.
But hey, I
No,
did.
it's like somebody with no natural sense of
what I
rhythm
know.
was doing the pin tapping.
Amazing.
You'd be amazed what I can do.
Yeah.
But yes, no, I'm glad you enjoyed it anyway for what it was.
We haven't finished yet. And there was also, wasn't there, in there was a kettle boiling as well.
Yep.
But very specifically
One for the
it was a Kenwood kettle, wasn't it?
It was.
Specifically that.
Yeah. What model?
I'm not sure of the model. I think it was it was a sort of cream coloured one.
Creamy, beigey one, yeah.
You could hear the cream on that one.
Yeah. Well.
I appreciate that. Anything else?
Yeah, the opening titles to Mr. Ben seemed like that came out of nowhere.
It did come out of nowhere, but it sort of worked, didn't it, Kate? Didn't you think? I thought it.
I thought so.
Yeah, I thought so.
Well, that
Yeah.
worked. Well, that's good.
It brought a bit of nostalgia. It was nice.
And that, I don't know why on earth you'd put in that sort of, sonic jingle from the Bad Robot films. Why? Well, that was an interesting.
Well, it's just to add that kind of, pizzazz and make it a bit more high budget. You got to.
But then also the noise of one of those toy robots you got in the 1970s. Remember?
That's
remember
just to
those?
bring it down to earth.
Yeah.
It's just you got
That
the.
was interesting.
You got to balance it out.
And why was Father Ted in there explaining the difference between the two different sized cows?
Yeah.
That's for. That was for just to appeal to all audiences as well. You got to cater for everything.
And finally, that really, for me, the crowning glory, the ending, really. I mean, the climax in many ways.
Oh yes,
was the bit of the soundtrack from that other Jon Holmes film.
Yes,
from the 1970s.
Yes, yeah.
Very bassy.
Yeah. Oh, you've no idea, and that's not even the instrument that was causing that. Well, thank you.
The playing of the banjo string as well. That was that.
Yes, he did. He did.
So that sounds dangerous.
Yeah. So that was the week that was it? How was Wednesday? What happened on Wednesday?
Right. So Wednesday, did I mention the Rotary Clothesline?
You did, yeah.
So next to that,
the Windy Wendy.
The Windy Wendy, thank you. The next to that now is because my youngest daughter had a birthday, and what she wanted for a birthday was a trampoline.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
well, you say that. So a trampoline, or an arm breaking machine, as I like to call it. They're what it turns out they're very, 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 and I can't emphasize that enough. Very, very, very difficult to build.
Yes,
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, I just had an
absolute hours.
I can imagine
to build a trampoline. Right, so it arrives with instructions which are, so you lie it all out and you try and assemble the frame. That's all right. But obviously, then you realise you put a bit of the frame on upside down too late, and they have to take it all apart again. I mean, that's a given. But trying to stretch the bouncy part onto the frame itself is something I never ever want to repeat. That was absolutely horrific. But that was I spent the day doing that.
Yeah, I can't imagine what that's like. Did you do it on your own?
Yeah, I did do it on my own. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's where you went wrong. Yeah.
Surely that's a 2-man job. Surely.
Well,
that's got to be hellish.
I attempted to train the dog to help, but she was too busy rolling on the floor.
Of course.
So I did it myself. I did do it myself. And it's not a very interesting story, but you asked for what I did, and that is the honest truth. I tried to build a trampoline, which now is built and has had a child bouncing on it. But I absolve myself of any responsibility for when it all collapses.
I just had visions of you watching your child jumping on the trampoline while just gritting your teeth and biting your nails, oh, for God's sake, hold. And then I realised it's you.
Yeah. And everything is an anecdote. Has it got
the net around it?
Yeah, it has. I got the most unsightly, obscene one to look at that I possibly could. It's horrible. I didn't want one. It's horrible. They look horrible. They are horrible.
You've not been on it
and
yet.
Also, actually, it's brilliant when you go on it.
Yeah, it's really fun.
But I also had to tether it to because it might blow away, right?
Yeah,
they blow away.
They do.
So I had to tether it down. And it's like
so when you're approaching the spring situation, do you do one spring on one side and then the one directly opposite it?
Yes.
And then right, okay.
Yes. But I only realised that an hour into the process after I was trying to stretch the springs.
Oh, were you doing one and then the next one?
Yes, because I didn't. I mean, I am inept.
Well, that's
so
what
I didn't, and also I didn't read the instructions.
No, I do that. I do that. That's what springs to my mind. And now Kate said it. That's obviously the thing to do.
Sprung to your mind.
I didn't even mean to say that. But yeah, that actually does make sense.
Yeah. No, Kate's got it bang on. That's exactly what you do, Kate. Yeah.
This is why.
If only I called you first.
I'm always here if you need me, John. But so rarely do you take me up on that offer. But I could have saved you many, many spring-loaded hours.
There would have been a lot fewer swearing words, I can tell you.
So did that literally take you all day, or was that just like?
Yeah, it's not a very interesting story, but I can't. I've got nothing else. That's what happened on Wednesday.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's fair enough, and it's still
that is it.
That's the important thing
at the moment. It is, yeah, and it's fine. But I don't like it, and I don't want it. But I, as a father, was browbeaten into it by the sort of doughy eyes of a child, just going, "We really want one." Oh, right. And
you did it for love. That's what you're saying. That's nice.
Yes, but there's also the added, the added advantage that it might well, bounce the child, and so next year's birthday will be much cheaper. So bear that in mind. Yeah.
Multifaceted benefits.
That's
Yeah,
good,
nice.
that's good. So moving on to Thursday, was that spring loaded as well, or did you just?
It's no more interesting, to be honest with you, Alex.
That's fine.
What was okay? So, well, so I've had a chip in my windscreen. This is my car, not my wind. I'm a human. I don't have a windscreen.
No, I get it.
But in the car, there's a chip in the windscreen, right? No, I don't mean one that's been left over from a McDonald's drive-through that's somehow become wedged upon the glass.
And
I mean,
you don't mean
a stone chip.
And you don't mean like a Las Vegas sort of $5 chip.
No, I don't. No, because
And you don't mean that your windscreen has been vaccinated with Bill Gates's.
Now you see, now you're onto something. So that's my question, you see. So I have a chip on my windscreen, but the question is, it only appeared after I got vaccinated. So what if, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but let's say I am,
right,
for the purposes of this.
Yeah.
What if I got vaccinated and then that chip appeared in my windscreen? Not in me, notice, because that's what they want you to think.
It is
in my windscreen.
Yeah. So you're suggesting Bill Gates
tracking me?
Is tracking your car
via a crack in the glass.
So, first things first. Do you live near a 5G mast?
No, because my signal here is appalling, and I wish I did. So no, I don't.
Okay.
But what if now my car is
the 5G mast?
The 5G tracking mast.
Have you noticed any difference in your signal on your phone when you're in the car?
No.
But it's probably not then, is it?
No. But the point stands though, doesn't it? Because if I am vaccinated and the day after a chip appears in my windscreen, right, which some might say is from a stone. But what if the whole thing? What if the stone only popped it up out of the road because I was driving over it having been vaccinated?
Well, I think it's in those circumstances, John, that people need to really do their own research and make their own minds up about these things.
Well, obviously, but my mind is made up, isn't it? Because, I don't think that's a coincidence. So I think...
No.
They're throwing us off the scent. People say that, they're putting a chip into your body with the vaccine. But what if they're not? What if they're putting it into your windscreen?
Yeah. That's a great question.
I mean,
what if that is true?
To be honest, when I had my vaccine, I had chips afterwards. So
then but were you going to?
No, I wasn't.
You only fancied the chips, didn't you?
Yeah.
After the vaccine.
And I only ate one of them.
And that's where they get you.
I only ate one of them.
You're now full of chips.
I am.
So, oh my gosh. So are they... Where did you get the chips?
Chip shop.
Which one?
The one nearest the vaccination place. I went straight there. I went straight there.
So you're saying big fish are conspiring with AstraZeneca?
Yeah. I mean, Bill Gates is a big fish.
He is a big
fish.
Hang
on. What is the biggest fish they've got in the fish shop?
Cod.
Yes.
Cods are quite big.
You see? Jesus. And think about it. If that was the nearest one to the vaccination centre, right? I heard this from a bloke that I know who's the brother-in-law of a woman of a person of someone I used to work with. So it is true.
Oh yeah.
In the pub.
Yeah.
And they said there's a tunnel from your chip shop straight to that vaccination centre. So what if when they said, do you want salt and vinegar, and you said yes, what they were really doing is they were putting the vaccine liquid on your chips, not vinegar, is it? And so
they were double dosing you.
Yeah, and that's why you got
chip.
See, you got to think about this stuff.
I am now.
People think this is conspiracy theories, but it's not. It's all fact.
God, I mean that's
my windscreen. Coincidence? No. Your chip visit after the vaccine straight away? No. Kate, have you had the vaccine?
Yeah, I've had my first one. Yeah.
Right. Did anything chip related happen?
You're not going to believe this, but
Yes.
I had a golf lesson the next day.
See?
Oh, what?
Exactly.
This is...
Yeah.
And?
Oh, my God.
And we practiced chipping. And I was really good at it. Like, surprisingly good.
Obviously.
Yep.
Obviously.
And this is how they get you. You see? This is the problem. So everyone's talking about chips. They think it's chips going in you. It's not. It's chips in the rest of your life. And as I say, I'm no conspiracy theorist, but this is an absolute fact, all of this. So This is why you've got to be careful. So I want everyone listening to this to think about it. If you're having the vaccine, did you do anything chip related the next day? I'll give you another example, right? So a friend of mine got vaccinated. I say a friend of mine, he's the sister-in-law of somebody who I know who used to be a nurse in the 70s, whose children now go to school with a guy who used to be alive in the 90s. And he said in the pub that when he got a vaccine, he went home and watched the 1980s California Highway Patrol motorbike drama, Chips on YouTube,
whoa. No
starring
way.
John Baker and Eric Estrada.
Friend of mine, actually, saying that, he got every question right on catchphrase after he had the vaccination.
You see?
What's Mr. Chips? He knew exactly what Mr. Chips was doing every time.
There you go. Yeah.
So how much money do you think that this global rollout of the vaccine is going straight in the pockets of auto glass repair, John?
Auto glass replace.
Indeed.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was going to say.
It's automatic. It's like Pavlov's dog. It's automatic.
Why do people not do jingles anymore? Because they're so effective.
That's how it works.
So auto glass repair, auto glass replace. Also,
Auto Grass are a very different company. That's if you get a crack in your lawn, they will come and replace your lawn.
They will. But I am genuinely interested because I have just found a teeny tiny chip in my windscreen as well. But I think it's
vaccinated.
Well, maybe, but I don't know why I'm doubling up on chips. But
Well, you got it,
it's expensive to get those things repaired.
Well, in all honesty, I did phone Auto Glass Repair, Auto Glass Replace, and it turns out my insurance company don't deal with them. They deal with a rival company.
What's their jingle?
So I'm not using Auto Glass Repair, Auto Glass Replace.
Do you have to pay your excess? Because
yes, I do.
But surely it's cheaper just to pay the company.
No, because I looked into that. So this is boring, isn't it? My excess.
Yeah, we'll edit this up. I need to know.
My windscreen replaced is £100. But to get the whole thing done is £738.
Ow.
So it's quite a big chip. I'm just going to get mine. I'm just going to get it filled in.
Mine was, I'll be honest, more of a crack. Okay, if I'm honest, it was more of a crack.
Yeah,
if
but that doesn't lend itself to the story, does it?
Get their crack filled in, then one of us is going to get pregnant again, is all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Well, it's difficult for me to get pregnant again right now.
Well, you say that.
It's probably more difficult for me to get pregnant actually than you.
Fair enough.
So Friday. What happened on Friday, John?
Oh, nothing. What about the weekend?
So nothing happened on Friday.
No, I'll tell you what. All that happened on Friday was I had to go to So what happened on Friday was I genuinely had to go to a shop called New Look, which I'm not familiar with.
Oh yeah,
I've heard of it.
I know.
Yeah, because my eldest daughter, we ordered something for her, and I had to pick it up from New Look. I've never been in New Look. I went into New Look, and everyone looked at me. As you'd imagine, the clientele of New Look is what, teenage girls, really, I suppose, isn't it? Is it?
Yeah.
But either way, they all looked at me like I was a weird person for being a bloke in there on my own. Which clearly that's what it looked like, and because I had to go and pick something up, and I didn't spend long browsing the clothes myself, just about half an hour, and everyone thought that was weird. But I don't see why it was. I was just trying to fit in.
And was it a new look they were giving you, or was it just a regular?
I've got a very new look after that. Thank you very much.
Lovely.
I am.
Good.
I know. I'm wearing my first training bra, and it's very comfortable.
Yeah, really holds the buttocks up, doesn't it?
It really does.
Do you go in new look at all, Kate?
Not really. No, I'm probably a bit outside of their target demographic at this stage. Sadly.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about?
Were you a new look person at the time, though? Whatever that time was, Kate. Is that?
Oh
a thing?
yeah, for sure. I've owned plenty of new look stuff in my time.
There we go.
Your eldest daughter's clearly a fashionista.
Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. She's 11, so I don't know whether I'm in new look. I'll say it was a new world. I've never been in new look before. No cause to do so.
They do have a men's section now in some of their flagship shops. Yeah.
Well,
if you go to like the big ones,
I was in a tugboat version.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't think I've been in the new look. I've been in the yours. I don't know if you've seen yours. That's quite an interesting place.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
no, I have no idea what that is.
I don't either. I just made it up. What about the weekend, John?
Well, the weekend. Now you see. Now I like to go to the. I'm a middle-aged man. I don't know whether you've. That's obvious, right? But the really the most peaceful time a middle-aged man can enjoy at the weekend is to book himself a session down the tip.
Oh yes,
dreamy, yeah,
isn't it? Because it's cathartic, isn't it? Because what you're doing is and honestly, the amount of cardboard since the pandemic that turns up during the week of just stuff that's been delivered, right, has to be then dealt with. But also then, it's very boring again, isn't it? But you have to book a slot at the tip now. You can't just turn up, right? No. So you have to book. So it's like book yourself a slot in advance. And then you take all of the stuff in one go, and it feels. But there's a queue, and it's fun. But it's fun. It's just a cathartic thing to do. It's a cleansing. Some people like a sort of cleansing spa, don't they? But I like to go to the tip.
I think booking an appointment makes it a bit more special in a way. It is like booking a spa day.
It's more exclusive.
Yeah, it's like, this is my slot. Yeah, I would like to book myself in to throw an old laptop over into a load of old crap.
Do you like to? Really, we've talked about tips before, I think on this.
Have, we got a good half hour out of
that. Do you like to really use this catharsis as an opportunity to like lean into your manliness, John? Because my other half, and I have, you know how like they say expectant mothers do like nesting and they get this urge to like tidy and decorate and all that shit. I have a theory that expectant fathers have an equivalent and they sort of do like dad readiness. So Tom, much like yourself, enjoys taking himself off to the tip, getting rid of a load of crap. But then he comes home and he seems to somehow do like extra farting and like drinks a couple more beers and just like, I don't know, tells terrible jokes. And basically is like doing heightened dad stuff.
Interesting.
Wow.
No, I hadn't really come across that.
Okay.
I mean, I for a start, I do. I mean, you mentioned nesting, which expectant mothers do, and I do. That's another thing I like to do at the weekend. I like to go out and watch expectant women nesting. I built myself a hide.
Yeah.
And I go down.
I've noticed.
Oh, it's not a very good hide.
If you don't think that I've noticed you, you're wrong.
I have watched you nesting, and I like to jot down your migratory patterns. And
I have started making the traversing the hallway to the bathroom. That does happen a lot more now than it used to.
I know. I've got them all written down. And what's more, it's not just you. Don't feel like it's just you that I'm being weird about. It's it's any pregnant woman. And I like to go down the park. And at the tip is interesting because there's a load of near the tip where I live, there are trees, and a lot of pregnant women do nest in those trees. So what you can do is you can empty the back of your car while watching the nesting, and it's great because the pregnant women, they climb down the trees and they pick bits out of the landfill and take it back up to feed their young. The women in their nests, and I kind of like that. I like they take all sorts up there. I've seen them taking old toasters up there and, discarded radiators and stuff just up there to feed the kids.
Yeah.
And it's lovely to watch. It's just nature, isn't it? It's nature. It's not weird for me to watch
It's
nesting
just
pregnant women.
nature.
That's just natural. And it's just nature. And there's a load of us. We got, there's like, these, they call us perverthologists. And what we do, we've got there's a network of us. And we, if we spot a pregnant woman in the wild on her own or something, we won't disturb her, but we will put the call out to other perverthologists, and they'll come all over the country to watch, and it's lovely in a way.
Yeah, it's nice that you can give back as well. You can give old, say for example, old clotheslines as well, because I know quite a few of them take that. If you've got one that's
if you're not going to tie it up and repair it yourself, Alex, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, they will get use out of it. They will just hang that from the tree. And
the reason I was going to the tip, I'll be honest with you, I was taking the knee. Because we have what we like to, because I don't know if you've seen this in the news and stuff. The footballers, they're on the knee, aren't they? And I like to take the knee, and we've got loads of knees lying around here. So I just I just pick them up. I don't like to see them littering the hedgerows.
No,
so I gather that anyone who's left their knee on the ground, I'll pick it up. I'll lift up the knee, and I'll take the knee, and I'll take it. I'll take it down the tip.
See, how are you getting on? Because a lot of people, I've seen on Twitter, a lot of people are not really getting into that. They don't like people that do take knees. So how are
you should take the knee
that?
to the tip. Oh, without a doubt. You don't. No. There's. I don't know about your council. They charge our council now. It's like 45 quid for a limb bin, and any discarded limbs or part thereof, such as a knee or a knuckle or an elbow, you can pop in the limb bin and they'll take it for you. They'll take the knee for you, the council, but it does cost money. So I prefer to take my own knees down to the tip myself. And there's nothing, honestly, on a sunny day, at a sunny weekend, I'll be honest with you, there's nothing more cathartic and relaxing than shoving a load of, taking footballers' knees, pushing them into the knee bin while watching, through binoculars, pregnant women in trees nearby, feeding white goods to their young. And that for me is a perfect weekend. And that is and was my weekend, Alex.
That sounds truly magical.
I did actually find an antique knee. It was from 1970s. It was a Butlins Knobbly knee. And I was so proud of that. It's on my mantelpiece at the minute.
Did you take the knee?
I did.
Did you take the knee?
I did. Yeah. One guy yelled at me and went, "What the hell are you doing?" And I was like, "Well, got it, weren't you?" That's how it goes. Well, thank you, John. That's been great.
Boo! Boo! I'm booing you taking that knee, Alex. I don't think it was yours to take.
Well, you got to do what you can, and I just saw it discarded. And Butlins, big fan. Used to be.
Big up the red coat, massive.
Big up them red coats. Yeah. Seaside.
That's how John started out,
As a red coat.
Yeah.
Was it?
No. To be fair, I don't want to get into this, and I did tell you I didn't want to get into this before we started.
Oh, sorry. I'll have to speak to our producer.
Just very briefly, let's just say as well as I did, it wasn't a red coat. It was an enormous splash of blood. So let's just not talk about it anymore.
Yes, it's actually a raincoat,
all right.
not a red coat. So, John, if you had to rate your week on a scale of up to whatever, what would you rate last week in total?
What? No, sorry. I'm confused. Is this out of numbers or any?
It's out of whatever.
Any rate?
It's a scale of up to whatever.
Right. I'm going to rate it. I'm going to say. That's my rating.
Great.
Okay, I'll make a note of that.
Yeah.
How many ahs in?
I mean,
yeah.
Okay.
That's my rating.
Great.
That's one of the highest.
I'd add an extra H to the end of that.
Would you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Controversial. Well, that about rounds it all off. Thank you so much, John. Is there anything you want to plug?
No.
That's fine.
Oh no! Wait. Yes.
Oh, go on.
Yes. Let me plug. Let me plug the SKEWER.
Yes.
Which is a Radio 4 / BBC Sounds program I make, which is a for those that don't know, it's a what is it? Well, I don't know what it is. It's a remix of the news. It's a satirical river of sound. That's what it is, Alex. Kate, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And it's and we
It's
take
a
the news every
hellish
week.
soundscape.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and it's disturbing and weird.
And
but that goes on Radio 4 on a Wednesday.
Listen to it. We get headphones on. Is just a really surreal experience sometimes.
It is, but it also just won the Gold Award for Best Comedy at the Radio Academy Awards. You know, not my words, the words of the Radio Academy Awards.
That's
so
right. That's right.
And also, I will plug. You mentioned it at the beginning. Cold Case Crime Cuts, which is a podcast that spoofs true crime podcasts by investigating crimes within songs, e.g., who shot who at the Copacabana, who shot the sheriff, video or did it kill the radio star, etc., etc. It's available. Search for Cold Case Crime Cuts wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah. Yes, and it is a very good podcast. Yeah, pleasure, John. Been fun. Thank you.
Thanks very much, John.
I mean, it was a pleasure for you. It was absolutely tortuous and a chore for me, but, you know,
I think we've all learned something this evening about physics.
I think we have, yes.
Yeah.
Chips. And just a really, really long intro song that's going to be hell.
And nesting pregnant women.
The best kind. My thanks to Jon Holmes.
That's right. And I forgot in that song, I particularly enjoyed the cooing sound of a nesting pregnant woman in that song as well.
You noticed that one as well. That's good. That's good. Can you do that again for me, Kate? Thank you. Right, so my thanks to Jon Holmes, who's been an absolute pleasure, never a chore, and my thanks to Kate O'Connor. Anything to add, Kate?
You're very welcome. I enjoyed your company, John. It was a delight.
Do you want me to fetch some hot towels?
I'm all right just for the moment, but I'll let you know.
I'll know when it happens because I am watching.
You'll know.
My thanks to Jon Holmes and my thanks to Kate O'Connor. I've been Alex Sievewright, and that was the week that was. Was it?
Was it?
Was it?
Yes, and that was it. Thank you. Goodbye.
From the makers of Lazy Susan comes Windy Wendy, the all-in-one rotary clothes dryer that will dry your clothes in a breeze. The clothesline is so long, it stretches to the moon and back again, and then back again, and then halfway back. You will love Windy Wendy so much you will want to marry her or something. Windy Wendy from Arse Titties Incorporated.